Hello everyone, my name is Kode, and we're playing Hiveswap Friendsim. Isn't that an incredible thing? It's such a great thing, me playing more of this wonderful, well-written game. And hopefully, if you're a smart person, you are also supporting this game, that you've bought Hiveswap Act 1, you've probably bought some of these volumes. And if you haven't, you probably should, because I just want that possibility of Hiveswap Act 2. It's my personal Half-Life 3, and I just want it. And the more money the game company has, the more likely we're gonna get this shit, and it's gonna be fucking incredible. But anyway, there's Vikare, red tight. This guy, as far as I know, is he's obsessed with flight, and you can tell from his appearance that he is obsessed with flight. He's a flying guy. He sure loves planes. Let's learn more about him. Probably best for you to stop trying to predict what's going to happen to you at this point. Everything that's happened so far on this planet has been kind of chaotic. In fact, you're ready for something more familiar. You head back to the site of your abandoned spaceship. Sure, it's mass beyond repair, but it's a little slice of home. Maybe at least one or two pieces of it are fixable. You march off in what you think is the right direction, but it's actually the left direction. But when you get there, you're not alone. A little guy in a hat and big goggles is standing there, gazing at your spaceship, maybe assessing it. As you watch, he breaks up a couple gears and stuffs them in his pocket. Hey! You clear your throat loudly, like a sort of thing going on. Good galloping gravy! Why, I've never seen the likes of you before. What strange wonders the heavens have rained down upon us today. You quickly lose any indignation you were building up. He's smiling at you, and his words seem at least somewhat amicable. Maybe you got this all wrong. Maybe this is the next person to get chummy with. Cut right to the chase. No point in beating around the ground leaf covering. That's probably what they call it on this planet. You let this guy know that you're a proprietor of a spaceship he's stripping, and you're in mighty need of a new friend. Friend, eh? I'll bought some companion to pal about town. I've seen nary come in to get so hairy around these parts who might fit the bill. You're kind of trying to imply that this guy could be your friend. Is it too late to say this now? You try to imply it with your eyebrows. As for me, day-to-day matters here utterly interest me not, for I care only about hurtling at great speeds through the boundless expanse of the cosmos. That's right, space. It is space flight that it consumes my every waking thought and all my adore. Okay, so I'm sort of wrong. This guy's more about space travel, not like actual planes and stuff like that. As in accordance with my duty as a future alternate crusader, of course. No oxygen, no wind, a total vacuum. That is a life for me, alright? Flying in space above the atmosphere, not within the realm of gravity's purview. Wouldn't have it any other way. Right, you get this feeling you're missing something. This guy seems really defensive about his interest in spaceflight. Like maybe he's trying to say something totally different? Whatever it is, his internal conflict clearly takes precedence over your issues. Seems like a great candidate for a friend, despite the fact that his voice sounds like it belongs to a newsreel about World War II. A newsreel, huh? Should I change my voice for him? I liked what I'd given to him. I don't think everyone else is gonna like it. I think it's gonna be very torturous. But I'd have just one curious for you, sport, which are my fans, if I may be so bold. Do you also like spaceflight? Do you yearn to see the moon shining above, the clouds whipping by you as you chase and tease the impish western wind, and then also keeping going past that up into space? Okay. We're gonna save right here. We're gonna say fuck off. We're not so sure about spaceflight. Guys, widen. You see them sparkle? Ah, I see. You're an individual with a more sophisticated palate. Real connoisseur of the buoyant arts you are. Someone like you would never be satisfied with the amonic affair of traveling through the inky blackness of the galaxies. How much you want to believe my hide is in order. Let's get a wiggle on. There's a lot going on there, but you understand that he wants you to follow him. The friendly guide takes you to a building where all the rooms seem to be balanced on spindly-looking stilts. The hive soars above you into the sky. He gestures to a little platform attached to a pulley system like a rudimentary elevator. It brings you up to a small, dark room. This is a cool room, by the way. This house is pretty much what you would have guessed. The walls are covered in star maps and pictures of spaceships. You notice that many of them have cheery slogans splashed across them, saying things like, explore the galaxies because you're required to fulfill your duty to society, and enlist, travel, make friends, don't get cold. New friend doesn't seem too happy as he looks around the place. Just the hive for a dedicated spacecraft enthusiast, isn't it? You nod. You're not too sure what this is leading to, but no one ever went wrong with relying on a non-specific and plausibly deniable agreement. Who am I fooling? You've rumbled me, potential new chum. What you see before you is a collage of falsehoods. I'm nothing but an avatar of baloney. Truth that my odd temptations and desires based do nothing to tickle my biscuit. The thought of participating in the glorious eternal conquest gives me screaming memes. My interest lies in something a little lower down. Reaches up and peels back one of the posters. Beyond is another poster, this one showing a view of the clouds in the night sky. Behold my shame. The truth is, I'm known to toss and turn within the grasp of Mistress Gravy's sturdy fingers. Reverse the sky. Can such a thing? God damn it. God fucking damn it. Okay. So he's not into space travel. He's into actual flight. Like what I was saying. I am... okay. Imagine flying within the confines of Eternia's very atmosphere. Defying the very conventions of what we all know to be true. Instead of down, up, instead of falling, soaring. Can you imagine? Can you see it before you? Could you ever dream of the existence of such a flying machine? We'll save here. Tell that airplanes exist. I brought you here to show you my truth. You treat me to mockery. An airplane? A plane that floats in the air. Flying machines are a serious business. I think you should leave. Wow, okay. We sure did it. We did the great thing there. Don't tell me we've never heard of such a thing. Ah, but future is ours to build, my strange-hued and unhorned comrade. What do you think? Does it excite you? Do my ideas rattle your buttons? You can't help but notice that he's referred to as a chum and a comrade, but friend hasn't made an appearance yet. Do synonyms count, or is this just a tick of his speaking style? You look as earnest as you can and nod vigorously. You are almost positive this is the thing he really wants to express interest in. Ah, the truth will out. You and I share this furtive passion for the indulgence of air. A dialogue between a troll, a flying machine, and the stars. But further away from the stars than would be in a spaceship. I cannot stress enough how different of a thing this is. You can't decide how nodding and shaking your head here, so you furrow your brow and do your best to look thoughtful, like maybe you are contemplating the differences. This fellow's demeanor towards you is definitely shading to the more temperate climate zones. However, certain physical needs are starting to assert themselves. You're still pretty banged up from your previous adventures, but right now, the aching in your stomach is screaming for attention. You humbly ask your friend to be if there might be any chance of getting a bite to eat. But of course! Why, if I had known you had a rumbling in the old digestion bladder, I would shut my apple tooth sweet. Time for the good old nosh. Oh, Yamaruni, what ho! Now, how shall we obtain the victuals? How we could venture into the great unknown, which is to say out of my hive, or we could stay here, beholden to whatever twists and turns Lady Fate has in store for us in a nutrition block. What say you, new timer? There's a lot of choices here. I like it. Let's stay in the hive for now. You tell him any food that he has in the house will be fine. Surely staying here will get you fed more quickly. That's a plus, right? No problem at all, my fine and fervent fellow. However, I believe two kindred souls such as ourselves have more ways of communicating than mere words alone. I think I'm grasping the meaning behind your request. The signal from the transmitter is pinging my cranial ores receiver. I can see what you're truly after is food for the soul. You definitely meant food for the body. You look for an opening where you might gently corrupt your body, but he seems to be working himself up to say a lot more things. The delectable nutrition of what a true being craves, the sustenance of thought, of imagination, of desire, that which nourishes itself better than the finest grub noodles. Art, passion, science. You must have a hankering to see my flying machine design sketches. Despite your troubles, you can't help but think his enthusiasm is kind of sweet. You nod weakly. Make one last attempt, indicating that food might strengthen you to fully appreciate his work. No need to worry. I am fully confident in your ability to take in my glorious blueprints. And you have shown yourself to quite the sturdy noggin and a discerning ganderbolt. I would welcome your input. Warmth blooms in your stomach. It feels nice to hear him compliment you. You're not sure what you'd actually done to earn his praise, but you definitely don't want to ruin this now. Reseeing your designs will be fun, even on an empty stomach. Maybe it really will nourish you on a level that will help you forget about the prosaic and earthy nourishment you thought you wanted. You tell him you're in. Not so fast. That which I am planning to reveal to you is what I keep closest to my torso pillar. It's not that I don't trust you, my fruit loose and horn-free cohort, but I think I would like to trust you a little more than before by vivisecting myself and displaying my bleeding organs before your penetrating gaze. Which is a metaphor for exposing my portfolio. Might I trouble you to participate in a small trust trial? No problem, you tell him. Your bud insists you make yourself comfortable while it eats a few supplies. After a few minutes, he returns with a fistful of fabrics in different colors. Here's what's been bouncing my little brain box of mine, buddy-o. I'm gonna tie this blindfold around your face. Then I'm gonna give you some instructions. And you're going to try to locate the case where I keep my treasured sketches. If you can find it, it's gonna mean we trust each other deeply, like two wings working in unison to achieve liftoff. That's how wings work. I'm still figuring out the principles of the matter. What a romp! Are you up for it? It's too late to turn back now, and really, you don't want to. It's kind of a relief to have him tell you what you can do to earn his friendship in plain terms. Well, as plain as this guy's terms ever get. You give him a thumbs up. Now we're on the trolley. He quickly ties a fabric around your face. The time is upon us. Time for the inaugural flight of our deepening bond. Time to nudge our fledgling companionship out of the nest and see what happens. New friend starts to direct you around the room. To the left? No, my left. Sorry, okay, I meant your left. Now onwards to the glorious future that lies before us. You smile weakly, doing your best to follow his instructions. He sounds happy, so you must be getting somewhere. Almost to the doorway. 3 steps forward if you would be so. Wait! Crash. You stagger backwards from the impact. You hear yourself wheeze. The shock has totally knocked your lungs out of commission. Your chest jerks in tiny contractions and you gasp for air. Oh, beans. Ding ding, darn it. There's no pain, just an intense pressure focus in the center of your face, right where we ran into something face first. You pull the blindfold, and you hear footsteps, which probably means your new friend is rushing over to help. He gets the blindfold untied, and his face swims into your vision. He looks utterly gobsmacked. Why, I'll be a horned beast grub food. Everything compact, new pal. You put your hand to your face and touch something wet. Sure enough, when you pull your fingers away, they're covered in blood. That's a great thing to have. Blood. Your nose isn't gushing or anything, just sending out a couple rivulets to let you know it's having a bad day. It's not so bad. You tell your acquaintance this, but he doesn't look any less horrified. Shivering stretch of Konami. All this time I've been testing you to see if I could place a tender gift of trust in your delicately clawed little hands. And here you bestowed upon me the greatest trust of all, the knowledge of your non-standard hematological attributes. I am truly honored, flabbergasted, absolutely pushed to the brink of rationality by such a display of faith. Never mind a trust trial, you deserve to see my sketches. Just wait here. Be back in 2 shakes with baby Bobby's headquarters. You sit down on the floor again, wiping the blood off your face. You are not going to question the stroke of luck you've been shown. Why, if you knew bleeding was the key to his affections all alone, you could have just encouraged some blood from the sites of your multiple injuries. Does this imply that his aspect is blood? That's an interesting thought. Is he blood? Who knows? But no matter. You snip the last of the blood back up to your nostrils, tasting metal at the back of your throat. When your almost friend returns, he drops a big stack of papers onto your lap. You page the designs. The first few are rudimentary, mostly variations of spaceships with little notes like how to make it not reach escape velocity, and less jet fuel, shape could be less aerodynamic. We keep going. The designs are pretty interesting. One seems to rely on some big rotating sail switchy lift. Another shows a light frame body attached to 4 jointed wings. You briefly wonder what he plans to make the wings out of before you see the note stating that these are dragon wings. A follow-up scroll states, flapping mechanism? How to soften rigor mortis. Okay. But hang on. You take a closer look at the machine's frame. This guy's sketch is pretty detailed. The frame doesn't seem to be made of wood or aluminum as expected, but smaller individual shapes lashed together some kind of cord. Maybe it's a macro aesthetic, but I think kind of looks like bones? Look back at the other designs. Now you look at it, the sails in this one have a deep texture that might be leather or similar. The sketches themselves are picked out in a variety of colors, not dissimilar from some of the brand new blood colors you've discovered lately. Oh boy, you've been down this creepy alien road before, using your lightest, most jocular tone to question the bone shapes. You soften your words with a big, freaked out smile. What's that? Well, I'm not a construction professional, you know. Gotta make use of what's available. Only cold... Oh god, okay. Only cold low bloods and grubs, of course. Not an ounce of insurrectional spirit in this fellow over here. If you're not unhorned one. These wacky cultural differences. You just misunderstood. You take refuge in your old standby of nodding and smiling. It's none of your business what body parts this fellow uses, or doesn't use, to make his Wright brothers transformative fan works. Friends aren't for judging people's use of courses as construction materials anyway. You know, when you crashed landed on my planet, I had no idea what to think. Vikare, old boy, you really shot the balls now, that's what I told myself. Telling an alien about your flying dreams? Just roll with the kitty and no doubt about it. But now that we're here, and having a looky-loo at my sketches, I think it might have been right for us to meet all along. Perhaps the work of capricious Madame Destiny? Sure, he's about to say that you are friends. You can almost taste that sweet friendship affirming syllables coming from his mouth. You're just seconds away from that coveted F word. Ah yes, my favorite F word, friend. Or are you? Maybe you've misconstructed everything. You look back down the sketches. Bones in this one, bones in that one. It says that these plans call for the bones of aliens like him, at least if you misunderstood him correctly. But they don't really look that different from, well, the bones that you're more familiar with. Your own bones. Your bones we've already gone through a lot of today, and maybe seem to be kind of harvester condition, if one was so inclined. You clear your throat. You say, he's not in the market for these materials right now, is he? Like, right now? The friendly guy doesn't understand your question. You're not going to push it, but you do risk a quick glance at yourself, then back at him, then back at yourself, just so he's checking out the stuff, so to speak. When you look back at him, he looks aghast. Oops. Heavens, the biscuits. Is that what you think of me? think I'm the type to start taking people's body parts all higgly-piggly? As if there aren't plenty of thoughtlessly discarded rib cages to work with? That's the type of gin you're looking for in these parts. I'm afraid I'm not the type of aggressive heartthrob you're... oh lord. We can't be all the macho, bloodthirsty romantic. Okay. Oh lord. Romantic hero type? Ready to whip out an organ harvesting tools at a moment's notice. That way we could be friends, but now you're looking for something different. My apologies. I think it's best if you go elsewhere. You want to correct the misunderstanding, but I'm not really aware what the misunderstanding is. This guy doesn't seem to be in any mood for friendship right now. You're hanging your head. Look, this is all just a big waste of time. What the actual fuck? Oh dear lord, okay. Oh boy, okay, yeah. What was the last save? We were on this one? Okay, so we shouldn't say nah, we should go out and look for some food. From your budding Sean's words, it sounds like he himself isn't sure if there's any food in the house. Best to risk gonna go outside. Tell me your decision. Top choice, buckaroo. Foraging is how I while away with my time, after all. Just one small matter to trouble the old brain power. If we're venturing out into the unknown yonder, we should obtain some chow from my Lucius as well. He'll be a real grumpy Gustav if he goes too long without his nosh. You draw yourself up proudly, seeing a lot of bizarre run-ins and harrowing close shaves, but you know all about Lucius's. You inquire about Gustav, was it? Oh, what a card you are! No, my Lucius. I call him the Canary. He whips out a photo. It shows a smaller version of himself. His horns nothing but stubs. A far too big pair of aviator goggles slipping out of his nose. Standing behind him is a large white fowl. Big scraggly wings folded against him as his body. You want to say an emu? Whatever it is definitely not a canary. Its beak touches the top of your pal's head with something that might count as affection. He's on a personality store. All kinds of bugs and leaves will tickle his fancy. Shall we away? Shall we greet the horizon that rushes towards to meet us with astounding grace? Shall we give ourselves over to the current of time's great river? Sure, you tell him. You can leave the house. It's getting a lot easier to pay attention to only the words this guy says that actually make sense. You kind of enjoy his way of speaking, though. If nothing else, it gives you the feeling that he's really excited about this food quest they're going on together. Your alien pal leads you back down through the pulley system and outside again. The trip is not so easy in your bruised ribs. The thing about walking is when you walk, your body moves. You had much better times, is all you're saying. You indicate as much to your companion. Oh boy, I hear ya. Moving while attached to eternally surface is the worst kind of hooey. The moment when autonomous flight is invented trembles ever closer to the present. Can you hear it approach? The wail of a distant klaxon, the call to adventure. It beckons us forward through the years, the golden thread sketching us onward to the glorious inevitability. It's not what you meant. Plus excitement cheers you up a little. Maybe you feel a little better in the future when someone invents flight on this planet. Certainly by that time, either you'll be further along in your healing or dead. Either way, think about the future brings a little rosy glow to your heart. How's your buddy? Where you going next? The world is our Bivalvel secret. We'll go wherever the wind calls on Ames. Great. But as a short-term answer you're inquiring after? The specific plant that the canary likes to eat. It's got white petals and leaves as red as a troll's most lurid desires. Could you give the hollow of your bulbs fall on something of that persuasion? You agree to keep an eye out. You can still trudging along beside him, wincing whenever your steps jolt your injuries. Maybe a little conversation will help distract you. Where's your new friend? What got him so interested in flying in the first place? What could be better? Up there, free of worldly concerns. The wind in your face and the horizon at your back. Seeing the continents spread out below you. Finally feeling that your personal aesthetic is appropriate for the given circumstances. You chew over this one for a minute or two. Seems like what really makes this guy tick is a travel and adventure thing. Maybe that's what you're getting from his general demeanor and pretty much everything set up until now. You're nervous to bring up anything that might make him dislike you, but in the interest of bonding, you forge ahead. Aren't there, you say, apprehension? Maybe like some similarities between flying and space travel? Like maybe being in a spaceship could satisfy some of those urges? What? There may be some superficial similarities that trick the common troll, but in essence, the blood pusher and the soul of each as different as night and day. A mountain and a ditch. A star and a mud puddle. Look at a fellow wrong. Space travel is fine. Well, it's the only way to satisfy our bloodthirsty and nearly immortal overlords. Look forward to such a time where I can be of service. The eternal millstone grind of intergalactic conquest. What is missing? The punch, the pizzazz, the kaboom, the trunk beast honk of it all. Just as you figured, you step in it now. You're struggling for a response when out of the corner of your eye you spot a cluster of white flowers. Relieved, you point them out to your companion, who races up to gather them. But when he holds one up, you can see it as blue leaves, not red. Your shoulders droop. Something like all you're doing is disappointing to your buddy, who has been so nice to you. Or at least that's what you like to think. You're right between the lines of confusing speaking style. Fear not, my smooth-headed compatriot. These are not the delicious rations we sought. This plant is people shadow. What I mean to say is we can eat it. Since we are people, it's food for people, not food made of people. To be clear. He comes back with a fistful of the flowers and hands you one of the blue leaves. You're not at all sure what that food that's safe for your body will be. For your body was safe for you as well. But at this point you don't have much to lose. Besides, with the way your stomach is groaning, it might as well be a perfectly seared steak. Put it in your mouth. Chewing on a leaf, you feel even more affectionate toward this guy than before. You were this trip was just turning into an excuse for him for some kind of household errand, but he really did find you something to eat. You are desperate to find some way to show him that you understand his interest. You want to connect to him on a deep soul level. And again to look at you with a treasure glow of friendship in his eyes. When you already mentioned space travel, he talks about how it's something he has to do, some kind of necessary obligation. And maybe there's a reason he's fixed on an activity, sort of kind of similar, but just a little different. He doesn't want to do the required thing, the space conquest, but doesn't have it on him to rebel entirely all the way. Maybe airplane flight or that similar thing he's envisioning is a compromise between what he has to do and what he wants to do. A balance, like, almost fine, in order to live as an individual in a society that shapes one's desires from birth. You consciously open your mouth, heart pounding. You venture to ask your pal if he would rather not satisfy the demands of the bloodthirsty overlords. Maybe a part of him wants to get into this flying machine and will leave for real. He seems taken back. Maybe should have never have said it. What a huge mistake. You've probably pushed his friendship out of your reach for good now. Panicking, you point to the side, yelling that you see a big field of white flowers in that direction. Your potential friend leaves the action, seemingly also glad to be given a reason not to answer this question. He races forward in the direction you indicated. In a matter of seconds, there's a yelp and your new acquaintance vanishes. Instantly you realize your error. You didn't look where you were pointing. Walking on, literally came close to the edge of a large cliff, which companion has now disappeared over. You race to your side, your stomach flooding with fear. This is absolutely the opposite of what you wanted. Look down in horror. Your friend now looks approximately how you felt when you first crashed landed on this dark planet. He's conscious, his face frozen in shock, but one leg is twisted underneath him in a nasty way. You may not be familiar with his alien anatomy, but you're not almost positive it shouldn't look like that. You call out to him in distress. Sure, he's going to castigate for your mistake. The strangeness of his language won't make it hurt any less to lose this guy's trust forever. What ho! Kalu, Kode! His voice floats up from the ground below, weak and somewhat jovial. This possibly is not angry? Oh, joy is happening! Oh, delight for this body and spirit! Did you see? Did your being absorb what occurred before your very visage? I flew! Soared through the air. Stood for a moment, but it happened. An ecstasy like none I've ever known. You hesitate. Is it really possible that he could be taking this up so well? That maybe your big fuck-up was a step in the right direction after all? It's definitely a little worrying to hear him celebrate a dangerous fall, but none of that matters if you'd secure his friendship as last. My strange associate. Come on down here. We'll celebrate in grand fashion this eve. How did you know that a brief sojourn through unfettered air would bring me such joy? You're a fine fellow. And truly, a truly superb friend. Your heart lifts up with joy. Lifts because flight. He said it. Of course, you know how to find some way to climb down a cliff with your messed up ribs, not to mention figuring out how to transport someone with a broken leg back to the house. Not really sure if that's possible, but or when the adrenaline that's got you this far will give out and force you to succumb to your own pain. But with a night full of difficulties ahead of you, you couldn't ask for a better balm than knowing that you would face them hand in hand with your friend. Assuming he didn't hurt his hands as well. No matter, you did it. Awesome! Yeah! Now we do have one more option. One little last tidbit. Let's say that we love spaceflight. We're super into it. Well then, we're in total agreement. Two kindred souls traveling hand in hand to a glorious yet inevitable future of conspicuous service in space, which, as I've already made clear, a thing I most definitely and positively desire. So it seems we have nothing more to discuss. Toodaloo. Toodaloo, okay. Okay. Well, the good news is not only have we finished this dude's route, we have finished Volume 4, which had Vikare and the lawyer dude. I already forgot his name, sorry. Anyway, I think Vikare, I prefer Vikare. I think he's a lot more interesting of a character than the other dude. A lot more funny, a lot more aesthetic, interesting personality. And we're going to be moving on to Volume 5, and I've heard a lot about this. Character on the left, I don't know anything about, but I think it seems to be something to do with this character. Just sort of a secret. Keeps their identity and mystery. And then there's Zebra, who's on the right. And I've heard, I would say, interesting things about that character. Anyway, now with Volume 4 done, I do think my favorite so far is probably Volume 3. I think that's the best. That's the highest quality content that I've seen. But it's not like it's bad. I'm just giving you my thoughts. It's because it's because in Volume 1 I do like both of the characters, but I think our data is a bit more interesting. But I mean, there's always gonna be one that's a lot better. Someone's gonna prefer. I mean, it's like it's only two characters. Like, you can't really. It would be hard. It would be very hard to like them equally. And for Volume 2, I like the one on the left more. I forgot her name, but she had a very interesting route. And all her endings are pretty much bad. Volume 3, I'm still deciding. Actually, I like both of the characters a lot. In Volume 4, definitely Vikare. So, anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. I'm probably not going to be making a lot more Friendsim videos in a little bit. Like, maybe give me a week, and you might see a new one. But in that range, I might upload something a little unique. I might, because it's a project I've been working on and off for. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you cried. I hope you got angry at me for stuttering. Yes, I'm talking about the stuttering thing a lot, but I like to make fun of myself. Just have a great day, and I hope you enjoy this video.